So 1, 2, 3. So that's enough for a JNL. And then one tile. And then 1, 2, 3 plus the guy there. So imagine these are corrosives and corrosives here. So we kind of need to start that here, and then we can kind of do exactly the same. So this would be the piston setup. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5. That just fits, by the way. So that's kind of good. And then on my build, the kind of gem mats here, but you know, again, you might have to tweak this a bit just to make it work in your base, but I'm just kind of repeating what I did in my build, but again, your gen mat kind of dictates how to set this thing up. Alright, so we got the little entrance, and then that. Just kind of filling these in so you get an idea. Okay. Really important, this must be enclosed. Otherwise, obviously, players can just jump to the end. Okay. Cool. Alright, so that's kind of it. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. And then we go down. 2, 3, 4. And is that valid? That's not valid. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of important. Can I push it any further this way? I cannot. I'm not sure why that doesn't fit. Alright. Well, that's got to go there, so we got to work around that. So that means... Okay, we got some options here. Ooh, interesting. That kind of fits. Okay, 2. I'm kind of going for one tile less, so this is 10 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Okay. Oops. And then, you know, like if you have like path this way, go that way. If you've got path this way like me, just go this way. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as this is not open, that's like critical. You want the bombs to kind of come down here, and then if raiders get out this way, that's fine, but you don't want raiders to just be able to grapple out that way. Okay, and what can we do here? Maybe something like that, and you know, like that. Okay, cool. And you know, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll just kind of put for 1. Alright, cool. So far so good. Okay, let's just enclose this side. Okay, and then we'll enclose this side. Cool. Alright, great. Let's just come up here and just gonna put a few across. So basically want that, yeah, level with that. I think in my build I even do this. Perhaps. I don't know. You will have to check out the map. But I guess we could run it in social maybe. But so in terms of the guard setup, we have something like this. So we just have like 1, 2 spaces between. And the reason that is, if we did this, this guard is then blocked by this block. So that's kind of why we have just like 2 blocks kind of distance, just so that the vision of this guard is never blocked by whatever block is in front of her. Okay, so, and then... Now, obviously, for this build, I'm not going to be able to fill all the guards in. So just note, these platforms will just be empty, but you get the idea. Is you can have at most 20 guards. So 3, 6, 9, 12. You might want to do something like this for this edge, and then that just drops down there. So something like that. And I forget if it was 2 platforms facing this way or just the one set, but you can play with this. This isn't, too critical. You could even go like a couple platforms this way as well. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I think it was 15. If it's either 12 or 15, but it was a while ago. So okay, cool. So let's start placing these Cannonback. So I'm just gonna spend 3. I'm at 3,700, but just put in as many as you like. You'll probably run into space restrictions more than anything, but okay. So, sorry, just double check. This guy doesn't have optics. Alright, so far so good. Next we want to then path them. So this is another important piece, because if you don't path them, they're just going to sit there and they're just going to get sniped. So let's kind of do one of them. So first you got to aim them down, and then you kind of get them to go into each corner. So they're kind of peeking in and then dropping back. That's what you want. So we'll do just each 3. If you get too close to the edge, just cancel it and just try again. Okay, kick down. Okay, and that's basically it, is you just have these silly looking guards kind of pathing, and obviously you can like time them so they don't all go in sync with each other, but for demonstration purposes, that's kind of all you need. Okay, next. Alright, we are gonna run into capacity constraints here, but I'll kind of show the kind of gist of what you want. So it's going to look silly at the moment, but it will make sense in a little bit. So you kind of want to count 5 blocks, I believe, so from the exit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And then 5 this way, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 this way, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's about right. And then just kind of fill it in. And I'll explain why you do this in a minute, but just let me kind of fill it in. So something like this. again, this base will be on social, so if you miss some measurements in the tutorial or whatever, you'll be able to jump in and kind of measure it by hand if you need to. Okay, so something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is from edge to edge, it's roughly 5 squares in. That's the main thing we're kind of going for. Okay, and then this side, I think I did one more this way, and then 2, and so this would be 1, 2, I forget, like, on the sides, I think it was 3, but it might have been only 2, I don't know. It doesn't matter so much this side, but at the exit, we must pad this a lot. So the reason why we need this, so let's kind of fill in some stuff. So around your kind of your bridge, you must put in corrosives. They can't be hardened corrosives, because if you put hardened and a raider has arc barrier, they're gonna jump on this and then grapple up to you guys. So it must be just a vanilla corrosive. That's very important. Okay. Yeah, it might have only been 2, I'm not sure. But basically, the reason why we want to pad this out so much, yeah, we're at cap. Basically, we want to go all the way to the edge with corrosive. The reason being, and basically you just put a corrosive every tile of this, as far as you have capacity, right? So as you're leveling your base up, as you start, you're probably not going to have a ton of capacity, but as you kind of get to the, prestige 8, prestige 9, your goal is to like pad out to at least 5 blocks, and you can even like go 1 block around the edges here as well, but it really comes down to what else is in your base, like not just the bridge and these minions, but also like the JNLs here will take up capacity, and like if you do a flame piston setup, that's going to take capacity. I think they're all the traps we have, but I think I have multiple JNLs. Like I think at this side I've got a JNL or something just to put that extra pressure. So that's kind of it. Let's do a quick test run just to kind of get a feel for how this base runs. So imagine, again, this would all be kind of covered as well, but for the tutorial, you're just going to cut corners. Okay, let's give it a test. So what we're looking for is those guards to engage with us as soon as we get to that top level. Okay, so let's kind of path up. Okay, so we can just see them. Okay, and you see that? He's engaged, but he can't quite see. But when we get to here, okay, so he starts bombing. And then that kind of... See what it does with those bombs. Okay. Basically, we... See that? That's exactly what we want. Is that bomb just kind of slowly trickles down and like meets the raider here. Because what's going to happen is raiders are going to kind of go through this quickly, and like as they're kind of coming down here, they're going to come to here, but bombs are going to roll down with them and explode at the end there. So that's kind of the goal. From here, I don't have the capacity to show you, but the only last thing I would do is to start putting in pistons. I'm not sure if I even have enough for 1. No, I don't. I mean, sure, I'm just going to remove that, but just know you probably want, something like that around it. But basically, you'll have, for every tile, you want like one piston. Oh, that's right. Pistons are 50. I'm like two over. Okay, sure. 1, 2. So you want like pistons every single square. What I did for my build is, because when you grab the gem mat, that's one path, but raiders will have to path all the way back as well. So what I did is I had regular pistons with unstable's a must. I believe I had blockade for all of these as well. So I don't have the capacity, like I'm at max, but I'd pick blockade, unstable. Then on the way back, we have a second wave next to it. So it'd be second wave, and then I believe it needs to be unstable. So second wave won't have blockade, but they'll just have that unstable. So that's kind of it for the build. You can kind of rerun Lake Seneca and see all the extra traps. Like I think I've got a piston trap here just to kind of help those grenades connect more reliably. But yeah, you can kind of pick this up and do what you like with it. But this is basically the setup. So with that, we're gonna leave it there. So if you like this kind of content, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.